Rain hammered the windshield of the rusted taxi as Lena Hart, a second-year computer science student, rushed home after her night shift at the campus cafe. Her tired eyes fluttered shut every few seconds until her phone vibrated violently. Call from local police department. Her breath stopped. "Is this Ms. Lena Hart?" an officer asked. "Yes," she whispered. "There's been an accident involving your father, Daniel Hart." The world tilted. Her father, the quiet mechanic with calloused hands who raised her alone, was gone. Hit and run. Midnight. No license plate caught. No surveillance. No witnesses. But the officer's next words froze her blood. "We have partial digital footage. A black military-grade SUV, model restricted to high-rank personnel." Restricted. Meaning, power. Untouchable power. Days later, while cleaning the meager belongings from her father's locker, Lena found a USB hidden inside a cracked metal box. Contained within, traffic camera metadata and snippets of frame-enhanced images her father had secretly begun processing himself. The driver was a woman. Blonde. Elegant. A gold bracelet with a unique crest glinting on her wrist. A crest belonging to the influential Rowen family married into power through Commander Adrian Rowen, decorated war hero and CEO of the defense conglomerate Heiress Corp. Lena followed every digital footprint the bracelet led her to. And she found her. Vivian Rowen, Adrian's wealthy, scandal-ridden wife. Famous for charity galas, rumors of affairs, and an icy smile that seemed carved rather than lived. Lena trembled as she zoomed in on Vivian's profile photo. Same bracelet. Same SUV. Same angle of the jaw from the traffic frame. The woman who killed her father lived behind guarded walls, protected by military secrecy and corporate influence. 2 days later, Lena stood across the street from the Rowen mansion gates, hood pulled low. As if summoned by fate, a convoy of black cars approached. Lena lifted her head. And froze. Vivian Rowen stepped out, wrapped in a designer coat. And she looked exactly like Lena. Not identical, but close enough that with surgical refinement and digital deepfake assistance anyone would believe they were the same person. Something else happened that moment. Vivian staggered, clutching her chest. A maid rushed to her side. "Madam, please, your condition." Vivian hissed, "Shut up. Nobody must know." Condition? Lena's mind sharpened. Within a week, she learned the truth from forums, leaked documents, and private chats she hacked into. Vivian was infertile, a secret that could destroy her standing with the political families investing in the Rowens. She needed a double to attend certain events, hide medical absences, and maintain a perfect facade. Fate had handed Lena the key. If she became Vivian, she could infiltrate the household. Get close to Adrian Rowen. Find proof. Expose Vivian. Avenge her father. And maybe, destroy the empire that protected her. When she reached out through a burner account to Vivian's clandestine lookalike recruitment manager, she received an answer within hours. Come to the address. Confidential contract. Reward, $700,000. Must undergo appearance alteration and digital assimilation training. Lena stared at the message, heart pounding. Entering the Viper's nest meant risking everything. But what did she have left to lose? She pressed accept. That night she whispered to her father's ashes. "I'll become her shadow, and I'll bring her down from within." The underground clinic smelled of antiseptic and secrets. Lena lay on the cold metal table as Dr. Cecile Ward, cosmetic surgeon to the elite, circled her face with a laser pen. "You're lucky," Dr. Ward murmured. "Your natural structure is already similar. With adjustments to the eyes, jawline, and nose bridge, we'll achieve a perfect match." Lena stared at the holographic overlay of Vivian's face projected above her. Her future. Her mask. Her weapon. "Once we finish," Dr. Ward continued, "you'll begin behavioral coding and digital assimilation. You will be Vivian Rowen when required. Every gesture, every speech pattern, every biometric cue." "And the real Vivian?" Lena asked. "She knows. She requested you." Requested. As if Lena were an item to be purchased. The surgery took 14 hours. The recovery, 3 weeks. During that time, she studied Vivian obsessively: video logs, interviews, leaked vlogs, voice patterns, motion capture. Artificial intelligence generated feedback on her mimicry. Trainers corrected posture, taught her elite etiquette, drilled her in coded phrases only the Rowen inner circle used. One night, during training, Vivian herself arrived. Her beauty was cold, brittle, almost doll-like. She circled Lena slowly. "You'll do." Lena stiffened. Vivian smirked. "Relax. I'm not going to kill you. Your existence benefits me." "You killed someone," Lena whispered before she could stop herself. Vivian's eyes flashed. "Watch your tongue." Lena lowered her head, fists clenched so tightly her nails broke skin. Vivian leaned in, voice venomous. "Remember your place, Shadow. You're here to protect my image, not question my actions." Shadow. Yes. That's what Lena must become. A silent phantom slipping into the Rowen mansion, gathering evidence, preparing to strike. At the end of Lena's training cycle, the manager handed her a sealed envelope. "Your first assignment begins tomorrow. You'll attend the heiress leadership banquet in Vivian's place. Commander Rowen must not suspect anything." Lena's heart skipped. Adrian Rowen, the man whose wife took her father's life. She had studied him too: war records, press conferences, private leaked calls. He was brilliant, composed, and dangerously perceptive. The type of man who saw through lies instantly. But she would not fail. The night of the banquet, Lena walked into the Rowen mansion for the first time. Her heels clicked on polished marble as uniformed guards saluted her. "Welcome home, Madam Rowen." Home. No enemy territory. Then he appeared. Adrian Rowen, tall, broad-shouldered, eyes like sharpened steel. He stopped approaching halfway, brows narrowing as he studied her. For one terrifying moment Lena thought he recognized the truth. But then, "You look different tonight," he murmured. Lena forced Vivian's signature smirk. "New treatment. Do you like it?" His gaze darkened, not with suspicion, but something else. Something dangerous. "Yes," he said softly. "I like it, a lot." For the first time, Lena felt genuine fear. Because the man she came to deceive might become the one who sees her most clearly. Lena never expected life inside the Rowen mansion to feel like walking across a blade. Every corridor whispered surveillance. Every servant watched with conditioned silence. Every guard observed her with respectful fear earned not by her, but by the real Vivian Rowen. At first, Lena stayed quiet, using her training to mimic Vivian's cold elegance. But Adrian Rowen, he was the unpredictable variable. He watched her. Not casually. Not like a husband glancing at his wife. No, Adrian watched her like a general studying a battlefield, reading every breath, every flicker of expression. One evening, after a board meeting at Heiress Corp, Adrian approached her in the private lounge, his jaw tight from stress. Lena prepared herself to deliver the usual scripted pleasantries Vivian was known for. But Adrian stepped closer, shadows curling around him like a storm. "You've changed," he said quietly. Her pulse spiked. "Changed how?" "Before, you avoided me. Now," he brushed a lock of hair from her cheek. "You look at me like you're seeing me for the first time." Lena's breath hitched. She forced Vivian's trademark half-laugh. "Don't be dramatic." But Adrian didn't let her retreat. He leaned closer, too close. "Vivian, I can tell when someone is lying." Lena stiffened. Had he noticed her mannerisms slipping? Had she made a mistake? Before she could answer, the door flew open. Evelyn Pierce, the powerful Pierce family heiress, polished, ambitious, and deeply in love with Adrian, stood there, eyes filling with molten fury. "Adrian." Her smile was all razored silk. "Your presence is needed." Adrian stepped back, the moment shattering. But before he left, he whispered near Lena's ear, "We'll talk later." Lena's knees nearly buckled. As Evelyn dragged Adrian away, she shot Lena a venomous glare. Evelyn knew something was off. She had known Vivian Rowen for years, enough to sense when the woman standing in front of her wasn't her. That night, Lena retreated to her private room, the room Vivian had assigned her when she was not impersonating her publicly. She turned on her encrypted laptop and reviewed the data she had been collecting. The truth was coming together piece by piece. Her father. He hadn't been just a random victim. Daniel Hart had been investigating Erroneous Corp's classified side project Project Falcon, linked to political corruption and illegal prototype testing. His notes, hidden in that old USB, showed he had witnessed a clandestine vehicle test, Vivian at the wheel of a restricted SUV. And then he died. This wasn't a random accident. It was a cleanup. Her fists trembled over the keyboard. She had to find irrefutable proof. A ping appeared on her secure messaging window. Unknown contact, Shadow, report to sublevel clinic. Vivian wants you. Lena swallowed hard. When she reached the clinic, the real Vivian sat waiting, swirling a glass of wine as if lounging on a throne. You've been getting close to my husband, she said, voice dripping with warning. Lena lowered her eyes. It was necessary to maintain your image. Vivian leaned in, smile sharp. Don't forget your place. You are my double, not his lover. A chill slid down Lena's spine. Vivian continued, Evelyn Pierce has been asking questions. Watch her closely. If she finds out about you, you're disposable. Lena bowed her head, hiding her burning hatred. As she left the clinic, Adrian appeared outside, arms crossed. Vivian. No, he thought she was Vivian. He approached her, eyes softer than she'd ever seen. You're hiding something from me. Her heart stopped. Adrian cupped her chin, forcing her to meet his gaze. Whatever it is, you can tell me. His sincerity struck her like lightning. Because for the first time, she wondered if she could. Evelyn Pierce never played fair. She entered the Rowen mansion unannounced one afternoon, heels clicking with imperial authority. Lena froze mid-step as Evelyn's eyes swept over her, dissecting every detail. Vivian, Evelyn purred, you didn't attend the charity summit yesterday. Lena's stomach clenched. Vivian had insisted Lena skip it to avoid public appearance overload. I wasn't feeling well, Lena replied, using Vivian's tone. Oh. Evelyn's gaze glittered. Strange. You posted on social media at the exact time of the summit. A gym selfie, full makeup. Lena's blood ran cold. Vivian had posted that. Evelyn was setting a trap. Adrian entered the hall then, expression unreadable. Evelyn. Enough. Evelyn turned to him sweetly. I'm only concerned. Vivian hasn't been herself lately. People change, Adrian said, eyes flicking to Lena. Sometimes for the better. Evelyn's smile twitched. She hated losing control over Adrian, even in nuance. Later that night, Evelyn cornered Lena in the garden. The winter wind whipped around them as Evelyn whispered, I know who you are. Lena's heart stopped. But Evelyn continued, you're hiding something. And I will find out what. The threat lingered long after Evelyn left the mansion. Meanwhile, Lena deepened her infiltration. She accessed Adrian's private office using Vivian's biometric key, carefully altered by her deepfake program. Within the encrypted servers, she discovered hidden logs. Footage of the night of the accident. Coordinates linking the restricted SUV to Vivian's location. And a sealed report naming her father as liability terminated. Lena fell to her knees. They had covered it up. She downloaded the evidence onto a secure drive. She would expose them. All of them. But as she turned to leave, the lights flickered and Adrian stood in the doorway. Her blood iced. What are you doing in here? He asked slowly. He stepped forward, each bootfall echoing through the darkened room. Lena scrambled for a lie. I forgot my coat. You're not wearing a coat. Silence thickened. He approached her, then unexpectedly reached past her, pulling a small device from her pocket. Her breath stalled. He held up her signal scrambler. A tool Vivian would never carry. Adrian looked at her with devastating clarity. Who are you? Lena's knees nearly buckled. She forced Vivian's voice. I needed privacy. Evelyn. Don't lie to me. Adrian grabbed her wrist, not harshly, but with tragic certainty. You look like Vivian, but you aren't her. Lena's pulse roared. Another lie. Another act. She whispered, Adrian, please. His jaw clenched, but he released her. Go to your room, Vivian. We will talk tomorrow. She fled, barely holding herself together. He knew. He was too close. Yet something inside her whispered. His not angry. His, torn. Dangerously so. Lena avoided Adrian for 2 days. But Adrian didn't avoid her. He became a storm orbiting her, appearing in doorways, watching her across dining tables, brushing against her in narrow halls. And every time he came close, Lena felt her resolve crumble. During a fundraising gala held at the mansion, the final blow landed. In the middle of the ballroom, amid crystal chandeliers and political smiles, Adrian approached with deliberate steps. Dance with me, he commanded softly. Lena froze. Adrian, there are people. I don't care. He wrapped an arm around her waist and pulled her close. Closer than she had ever been held. His hand rested against the small of her back, warm and possessive. His breath brushed her cheek as he murmured, whoever you are. I can't look away. Lena's world shattered. For a moment, she forgot revenge. Forgot pain. Forgot everything except the man holding her as if she were precious. But Evelyn Pierce watched from across the room, fury igniting her gaze. Later that night, Evelyn cornered Adrian in his office. You're being manipulated, she hissed. Vivian isn't who you think she is. Adrian responded coldly. Be careful, Evelyn. I'm trying to protect you. I don't need protection. Evelyn's eyes narrowed. Then I'll destroy her myself. Meanwhile, the real Vivian was spiraling. She screamed at her aides. She demanded updates on Lena's performance. She hired private investigators to trail Adrian's movements. Vivian knew Adrian was slipping away from her, toward her own shadow. That night, she visited the mansion unannounced. Lena stood frozen as Vivian's heels clicked across the marble. Get up, Vivian ordered coldly. Lena rose slowly, dread coiling in her stomach. Vivian studied her, eyes wild. He's falling for you. Lena said nothing. Vivian stepped closer, whispering, if Adrian chooses you, I will kill you myself. Lena met her gaze, for the first time not as a shadow but as a storm. I'm not afraid of you. Vivian's hand twitched, then she slapped Lena so hard her vision blurred. But before she could strike again, a voice thundered. Stop. Adrian. He caught Vivian's wrist mid-air. His eyes burned, not with confusion, but with unmistakable protectiveness. For Lena. Vivian whispered, voice trembling with rage, Adrian, she isn't me. Adrian's silence was telling. Lena's heart stopped. He wasn't rejecting the accusation. And he wasn't defending Vivian. He was choosing not to answer. That terrified Vivian more than anything else. Rumors spiraled. Evelyn Pierce mobilized her political network. Vivian hid behind her curtain of power while plotting Lena's demise. Yet Lena's mission continued. She slipped deeper into Erroneous Corp's encrypted systems, discovering the core truth. Project Falcon involved the illegal testing of autonomous armored vehicles, one of which Vivian used the night she killed Daniel Hart. The cover-up was orchestrated by high-ranking military officials. The evidence she gathered could bring the entire Rowen empire down. But as she worked, one problem loomed larger. She missed a period. Then another. When the pregnancy test turned positive, Lena sank to the floor. Adrian's child. Her revenge and her heart twisted violently. The next morning, Adrian found her in the garden, pale and trembling. Are you sick? He demanded, stepping closer. She shook her head. Lena. Her breath froze. He had spoken her real name. She ran, heart-shattering, but he caught her arm. I knew. Adrian's voice was low, raw. From the banquet. From the first time you looked at me, really looked at me. Tears streamed down her face. Why didn't you stop me? Because I needed to know why you were here. His voice broke. And because I couldn't stay away. She trembled. I'm pregnant. Adrian exhaled sharply, then pulled her into his arms. For the first time, Lena let herself collapse into him. But danger struck swiftly. A drone light ignited overhead Vivian's surveillance unit. Vivian had seen everything. The announcement. The embrace. The betrayal. And she was coming. The Rowen mansion erupted into chaos. Vivian stormed in escorted by private guards, Evelyn arrived with political enforcers, and erroneous executives gathered with panic written across their faces. Lena stood in the center of the grand hall, Adrian beside her as shield and sword. Vivian's voice cracked with hysteria. "That woman is an imposter. She's been pretending to be me." Gasps filled the hall. Evelyn smirked. "Finally telling the truth, Vivian?" Adrian stepped forward. "Enough." Vivian screamed. "She's carrying your child, Adrian. She manipulated you." Quietly, Adrian answered. "No. I chose her." Vivian staggered as if struck. "Chosen her?" Adrian turned to Lena, holding her trembling hand. "Lena Hart infiltrated this house to destroy us. I've known for weeks." Lena sucked in a breath. He knew. He had known everything. Adrian addressed the room, voice thunderous. "Vivian killed Daniel Hart. I have the digital logs. She used Project Falcon's prototype vehicle illegally and ordered the cover-up." Vivian's face drained of color. "You're lying." "Lena brought me the evidence." Gasps erupted as screens lit up with footage Lena had uncovered. Evelyn turned pale. "Vivian, this is treason-level misconduct." Vivian lunged at Lena, shrieking, but guards restrained her. "You ruined me." Vivian wailed. Lena's voice shook. "You killed my father." The hall fell silent. Adrian stepped behind Lena, hands on her shoulders, anchoring her. "She isn't your shadow," he said to Vivian. "She is the woman I choose. The one carrying my future." Lena turned to him, tears streaming. "You knew I wasn't her, and you still." Adrian cupped her face gently. "I didn't fall in love with Vivian's mask. I fell in love with the fire behind your eyes. And I knew, the moment you trembled when I touched you." Lena broke. But she had one final confession. Voice shaking, she whispered, "I came here for revenge. I wanted to destroy you too." Adrian smiled softly, painfully. "I've known. I was waiting for the moment you'd choose to stay, not as Vivian's shadow, but as yourself." Lena collapsed into him, sobbing. Vivian was arrested. Evelyn left in humiliation. The Rowen Empire faced investigation and restructuring. And at dawn, as the sun rose behind the shattered dynasty, Adrian lifted Lena's chin. "Stay," he whispered. "Not as my wife's double. As the mother of my child. As the woman I love." Lena finally let her heart loosen its chains. She whispered back, "I choose you." And for the first time since her father's death, the world felt like it could begin again. The Rowen mansion no longer felt like a fortress. Weeks after the scandal exploded across national media, the estate was quieter, emptied of the secret networks that once pulsed behind its walls. Government investigators combed through Erronis Corp., military tribunals prepared charges, and the Rowen name, once untouchable, was being rebuilt from shattered truth. Lena Hart stood on the balcony overlooking the frozen lake, fingers curled around the railing. The wind bit at her cheeks, but she didn't move. She had stood here many nights since Vivian's arrest, wrestling with a question that refused to settle. After everything, who am I now? A shadow? A survivor? A mother? Footsteps approached. Adrian slid his coat over her shoulders without a word. The gesture was gentle, something he had begun doing instinctively, as though keeping her warm was the most natural duty he'd ever known. "You shouldn't be out in the cold," he murmured, hand brushing her back. "Not in your condition." Lena placed her hand over her stomach. A soft flutter. A reminder of the impossible future she never planned for. "I needed air," she said quietly. "Sometimes I still feel like I'm wearing her face." "You're not." Adrian turned her gently to face him. "You're Lena. The woman who broke into my world and tore down all my lies." She laughed shakily. "Adrian, that's not. But you did." His thumb skimmed her cheek. "When you walked into my life pretending to be her, I started seeing everything differently. The silence I ignored. The corruption I tolerated. The woman I thought I married." His voice softened. "You were the only truth. Her throat tightened. They stood quietly, the ghost of their past lives settling into the snow around them. Finally Lena whispered, "Do you regret it?" "Regret what?" "Choosing me. Protecting me. Losing your wife, your reputation, your company's security. All because of what I brought into your life." Adrian's embrace was immediate, fierce, grounding. "Lena," he said slowly, "don't ever believe you destroyed my life." He pressed his forehead to hers. "You rebuilt it." She swallowed hard, heart trembling. "I don't know if I can be who you need." "You already are." A tear slipped down her cheek. Adrian caught it with his thumb, gaze dark with emotion he rarely showed. "I knew from the beginning," he murmured, "that you weren't Vivian. Her scent. Her walk. Her eyes." He cupped her face. "But when you touched me, when you looked at me like I mattered, I didn't want to expose you. I wanted to understand you." "Why?" she asked, voice fragile. "Because a man doesn't fight an entire empire unless he's already in love." Lena's breath left her. Adrian kissed her then, not with hunger or claim, but with a quiet, devastating certainty that unraveled every last defense inside her. When they parted, Lena rested her head against his chest, listening to the steady beat that had once terrified her. Now it felt like home. After several moments, Adrian spoke again. "There's something I want to show you." He led her down the hall to his private study, now cleared of secrets, stripped of the shadows that once hid entire conspiracies. On the desk lay a single folder. Lena hesitated before picking it up. Inside were legal documents. New identities. New passports. New lives. For both of them. "For when the baby comes," Adrian said softly, "we can leave all of this behind if you want. Move somewhere quiet. Somewhere no one knows the Rowen name." Lena's fingers trembled as she touched the papers. Freedom. A life without masks. A life for her child. "I thought revenge was the only thing I could live for," she whispered. "But now." She touched her stomach again and smiled for the first time without pain. "I want a future." Adrian wrapped his arms around her from behind. "Then we'll build it." She leaned back into him, no longer a shadow, no longer a weapon. Just Lena. Just a woman who found love in the unlikeliest, darkest place. Outside, the first light of dawn broke across the snow, soft, warm, and full of promise. A new beginning. One that belonged entirely to her. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more original novel stories. And stay tuned, our next story is coming soon.